her children if ICE shows up to her door.
I really pray it doesn't get bad enough, but being a mom in America, I had to stop walking for this. I often think that if it gets to the point of knocking on doors, God, and like, to even have these thoughts, it's like I'm literally separating from reality right now. If it comes down to me taking out myself and my kids versus us being taken and harmed by ICE, like, God help me, I did not want to do it. This is not the life I wanted. But that is a very dark thought that I've had. Death would be a easier out than for my children to be taken and harmed by these pedophiles.
Oh, yes, this is going viral on social media, and people are really disturbed by this.
Cool.
How did we get here? How did we get to this moment? I have been collecting clips to show you guys what's been going on in Minnesota since our last video. The left is filing. Okay, ever since I made that video, I've been collecting clips from Minnesota. And I thought we were gonna have fun. I thought we were gonna laugh. Thought it was gonna be a little giggle gaggle. Turns out, no. A few days after we made that video, Alex Pretti was shot. Now, this happened and chaos arose throughout Minnesota. I want to start by just saying, yeah, my goal was to have fun, Lefty's losing it. We will do a little bit of like Lefty's losing it, but I want to see how we got to this frightening place where an American woman is saying her children, she would rather kill herself and her children than just let ICE in the door. To me, she sounds American. Maybe she's illegal. All I can think is this is some type of excuse. The only type of person who would say something like this is somebody who thinks about it. And that's terrifying. Like if CPS shows up at her door, what if she does something stupid? It's terrifying. I don't understand these people. Oh my gosh. How we got here? How did we get here? Okay, it started with me wanting to laugh to, oh shit, somebody said, we need to talk about this. And now where there's freaking walls being built up by the citizens to block ICE from getting in Minnesota. Let's start with Alex Pretti and the very first clip that came out.
Oh shit! What the fuck? They killed him? Did they fucking kill that guy? Are you fucking kidding me here?
Okay, so here's what we know so far as 11:20 a.m. Central. Obviously, Border Patrol agents were wrestling this man, trying to pin him down. Clearly, he was resisting. We also know that he had this weapon on him with 2 magazines. We also know he was shot multiple times and is now dead. Well, for starters, I'm just going to call a spade. It is not smart to get in a physical altercation with law enforcement when you have a pistol on you. That is a recipe for disaster. So we don't know why he was out. We don't know exactly what they were doing. I'm sure details will come out. But if you have a weapon on you and law enforcement starts to get physical with you, the best thing you can do is comply, not resist. Now, if you listen to the way that the shots played out, it seems like there was one shot, boom, a pause, and then a flurry of shots after that. It's a possibility this man got one shot off. I'm not saying he did. Time will tell. In my opinion, it's a little too early to give definitive details. We're probably going to see a bunch of people try to spin this already and say ICE is evil, blah, 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 blah. That's going to be their goal. But clearly, he was resisting. He had a weapon on him that could kill multiple agents. And if you also watched, they all scattered before the shot. So I would guess someone yelled, he's got a gun, or gun, and then people started to change how they were handling the situation. There also seems to be a woman in red who was recording that interaction. I would like to see what video she has from her angle. So we'll see how this plays out. But again, if you have a pistol on you, do not get in a physical altercation with law enforcement, and definitely don't reach for it. I don't know if this guy did. There's a good chance he did. I don't know if he did, but I mean, that's asking for something terrible to happen.
And what he was saying in this video is correct. It's very stupid for you to carry a pistol with you, even if you're not using it, but then to engage in a physical altercation, and then they find out you have a weapon. And obviously if they see you have a weapon, even if you haven't used it, it's going to cause a threat to them. Play stupid games, win stupid prizes.
Now this is super affordable.
Okay, we're going to watch her in a little bit. First, I just want to show you guys a slow motion of what happened and talk about the misfire. When I was gun shopping last year, the one advice I got from most people was do not buy a SIG. They misfire. They misfire often, and I have kids. I don't want that. Let's go see this in slow motion so you guys can see where I'm coming from. And also, I just want to say my opinion on this. Alex Pretti should not have been there that day. If he really cared about changing the world, he should have stayed a nurse where he could have stayed in control of his life and done things from the goodness of his life instead of listening to a mayor and a governor who don't really care about him. And they both wanted somebody to die, in my opinion. It was the only way to get media attention to get ICE out. And they were trying to cover up that fraud to keep it out of legacy media. So let's jump into this. I want you guys to see what I saw, including a man show how easy it is for a SIG to misfire.
And I want to go over in painstaking detail every single element that I'm seeing here. Now, firstly, let's play that particular point in slow motion and let me know in the comments what you see. If you can slide back and forth, I'll try to keep it relatively zoomed in. Now, when it just runs like that, you can't exactly see every element. So let's now freeze the frame or focus on a couple particular frames and go over every single element. Firstly, I think what's probably most obvious is it does appear, if you really zoom in, like the slide of the gun potentially cocked back as he was whipping the gun around, or possibly, if we freeze here actually, from this shot, I can't tell if it's the low quality nature of the video, if it's kind of like a little bit of a visual artifact or poorly projected pixels, or if it appears almost as if the gun is cocked back and you could see a little bit of the barrel. If we take this shot over here and compare it to the DOJ release of the confiscated pistol, well, it does seem to line up as if the slide is pulled back and the internal barrel component of the gun is what's visible. And as he whips the gun around, as it reaches kind of like the whip apex, it's almost as if the slide pushed forward. That's visual cue number one. That's the first element of evidence. Now, the second element, it's extremely quick, and I think it's only captured on one frame, and this is why I missed it initially. It does almost seem as if there's a small puff of smoke at the moment the gun is whipped back. Now, you'll notice it's really subtle. And again, it's hard to tell if it's some sort of, low quality video fragmentation, but between these two frames on the video here, as the gun just barely crosses past his leg, it feels like it jumps up maybe an inch or two, and that appears to be some sort of gray matter coming out of the barrel. Maybe I could bring this into Photoshop really quick and kind of play with the colors and the contrast and make it a little bit clearer. When I boost the contrast, it is instantly visible. That does appear as if it's smoke coming out of the barrel. I'm not going to claim 100% that that's exactly what it is, but it certainly does look like it. And that's not the only factor, by the way. The next thing we have to look at is actually this item on the ground. It appears to be possibly a baseball cap, maybe some sort of black piece of cloth. It could actually be Alex Pretti's hat, if I'm not mistaken. Well, you'll notice right as that smoke goes off, the hat kind of pops up in the air. Some people are suggesting that it's the officer's foot that makes contact with the hat and causes it to do that. But if you look at the frame, I don't know if that's the case. I don't know if he steps on it. And it's hard to tell whether him kind of barely grazing it with his foot there, or I guess compressing and pushing off with his foot, if that would make the cloth from the top of the hat pop up in the air like that. Question is that the impact from possibly a bullet being shot at it, on it, or in its near direction, near vicinity? I don't know, guys. Initially when I was looking at this video, I was looking for impact with the concrete. Maybe some dust being created, although, there probably wouldn't be so much dust from a 9mm making impact with the concrete, especially frozen concrete, which I assume is a whole lot harder. But I guess all this to say, this is a plausible theory. And now the question is, were the officers who were involved in this encounter, in this situation, were they aware? Was the crime scene preserved? Where's that hat? Is there a bullet hole in that hat? Did it make contact directly with the hat? Is there bullet damage to the concrete at that specific area? The officer in question who has Alex Pretti's gun in his hand, what does he have to say? And of course, these are important questions to ask before coming to a conclusion. This is why investigating is so important. It's why you cannot.
Okay, so yeah, as you can see, there is a little bit of evidence that it could have been a misfire. I want you guys to hear from this guy though, who shows how easy it is for a SIG to misfire, and it's actually insanely crazy. And I'm so grateful, I didn't buy one. That's crazy.
For itself, I'll have to edit a couple parts because it keeps copying and sniffing and, well, doesn't make for a good presentation, but just take a look.
Put some input into the slide somewhere. Will it go off again? Will it release? Let's see. That's 3 in a row. Let me take the screw out. Number 4. Let's try it again. Let me show you. Fully functioning striker safety. All right. Should we do it with the magazine again? Let's put the magazine back in, and then we'll try the last one with the magazine now. Handy dandy trigger input tool. We are going to try to, again, we are roughly, as we saw on the tabletop, I'm guessing we're roughly 1 millimeter to less than 1 millimeter of engagement on that trigger. And let's see if we can get it to go off again.
Now, obviously, he kind of set up the right circumstance for the gun to go off, but it just goes to show, with barely any pressure at all, he pinched the gun, and it went off. That's absolutely wild. And who's...
This is what pisses me off so much. You guys want to defend a man carrying a gun to a riot, in my opinion, which, you know, I get it. You know, some people do take guns to protect themselves, but it gets crazy out there. But to actively resist the police and fight them and scream at them to do something, fight me, get out of here, Gestapos, or whatever they're saying. They're threatening these people. They're calling them names. I don't understand how you guys could defend him. And there's actually people out there being like, police and ICE. And like I've said before, in my opinion, this is so ghetto. Like GHETTO for show. I'm so over it. It's lame as f. It's like, grow up. I mean, look at New York, right? They're trying to completely remove the police now, which is disgusting. And they're using a case, which we'll probably talk about, a case where a man pulled out a knife in his house and started running towards the cops. The cops shot him because they were scared. And they're using, the family's trying to sue him. Mamdani's trying to use this to get police out of New York. I'm sorry, I don't want my cat to sleep on my son's face. He does it, and my son has asthma. Not asthma, allergies. Oh my gosh, look at this. I made this, you guys. You see this new design? Keep America Great, right? It's available in pink, red, black. I love it. Anyways, let's keep going because I have even more insane clips to show. And that, let's see what this guy's got to say real quick.
And that, my friends, is obviously wrong. It's not justified. I mean, even based on the video footage that we have, it's totally not justified. And a lot of people see that.
Hey, yo, America. Understand this. I'm a black man in America, right? I walk around with a 19 on my hip, a SIG in my glove compartment, and an AR-15 in my 2020 Honda Accord. Daily, right? And you know what I don't do with those things? I don't go and impede law enforcement carrying out their duties. You know what I do? I mind my business. And for some reason, I'm able to survive. Every single day, I'm able to come home, run my kids a bath, tuck them in, and continue to do my thing.
America's wrong.
No harm comes to me, no harm comes to my family. I also have a 12-gauge pump, away from the kids, of course, because, you know, you got to be a responsible pew-pew owner, okay? And no harm comes to me and my family because I mind my business. I let the law do the law things. If I have beef, I petition my lawmakers. I don't go and take it out on law enforcement who are also citizens and Americans like me.
Even if it wasn't an accidental discharge, I mean, if we're talking about what the officers were dealing with.
Okay, so yeah, there you have it. My opinion, why was he involved? Because his mayor and governor told him that he was doing something for the greater good? Make good problems, or what did he say? Make good problems, right? Something like that. They wanted someone to get hurt. They wanted a reason to say ICE is evil. And this guy seems to be a bunch of white liberals who don't seem to understand. They actually are calling themselves white saviors, pretty much. They're like, we have to be between these black people. We are the white people. We won't get shot like they do. We have to save them. And like, that's even more retarded. You guys are down to like stand up for somebody who talks like that. Like, it's so GHETTO, ghetto, for show.
The situation in Minneapolis is on the verge of exploding after a fatal shooting by Border Patrol. Please make sure you guys hit the like button. I don't know if YouTube will suppress this video or not, but Minneapolis is in the midst of a full-blown insurrection. We're going to talk about why this is all happening because it actually has little to do with immigration. It's a much broader, more nefarious anti-America agenda at work here. And most importantly, we're going to talk about the new details that were exposed that reveal the true scale, organization, and sophistication of this anti-ICE operation. These protesters, if you can even call them that, are literally working with Minneapolis PD to trace, dox, and obstruct ICE. I'm not kidding. As always, like the video and subscribe to the channel. Please watch this one till the end. But let's start with the video from a couple of days ago of Tim Walz encouraging Minnesotans to cause trouble for ICE.
I can't stress enough on this. We're winning it because we're doing it with Minnesota racism.
You guys gotta love the fact that he's behind his nice fancy gate, telling all of his constituents to make good trouble, as he's safe and protected.
Oftentimes talk about this, and I know people are discussing this a lot. I spent a lot of time with John Lewis on nonviolent resistance. The resistance matters. We're not telling people to be silent, but we're not telling people to go out and cause problems. We're going to cause good trouble.
So when you ask yourself the question, why all this chaos is only happening in Minnesota and not the rest of the country, that is the answer. Every single Minnesota politician and every single high-profile Democrat is encouraging this insurrectionist behavior so Minnesota can be their ideological battleground. And as you'll see later in this video, there is secret coordination with the Minneapolis Police Department to facilitate all of this chaos. ICE is conducting operations in all 50 states. But only in Minnesota are you seeing ICE agents being tracked and followed from sunup to sundown and being swarmed by a mob of 60 people every time they conduct an operation. Renee Good was part of this anti-ICE network, and now the second person killed was also revealed to be a part of this network. No law enforcement agency ever has been expected to tolerate this level of harassment, where you have 40 people blowing whistles that are so loud they come with a warning to use earplugs, people physically bum rushing ICE to obstruct apprehensions and detentions, and caravans of cars following them, obstructing, blocking in the middle of the street. This is absolute insanity that no law enforcement agency should have to deal with. This is absolute insanity and so much pressure and tension. No law enforcement agency can be expected to make zero mistakes under these kinds of conditions.
I'm not sure if this is the angle of the girl who is in the red jacket, but it could have been. We saw this one in slow motion, so I am gonna skip it. If you want to go watch his video, he is amazing at what he does. I advise you subscribe to Brandon LeMan right now.
Democrat Party has gone headfirst into socialism. That's why they turned up the intensity on the rhetoric to the maximum, calling Donald Trump a Nazi, because they knew Donald Trump was going to deport everybody that they just let in. So they used the mass media apparatus to brainwash and radicalize Americans that Donald Trump is a Nazi, ICE is the Gestapo, so these people would lay their lives on the line to protect the Democrat establishment's investment. And their goal is that enough.
That's the exact same theory I had from the moment it happened, so we on the same page.
People die to where the federal government will lose all of its political capital to conduct any deportations. But now the anti-ICE protesters have taken over blocks of Minnesota, establishing no-go areas, furnished with gates and borders, how ironically, and the Minnesota National Guard is actually defending these territories.
Don't forget, they're also checking people's IDs, you know, papers. They're checking people's papers. Show me your ID. Show me you're a legal citizen.
In Minneapolis have defied the local police. They are planning to set up 1,000 more roadblocks. Now, this comes as police already tried to take down one of them after receiving backlash from the police union.
So now we get into the third part of this video, the sheer scale of this anti-ICE operation and the secret coordination with the Minneapolis Police Department. It has been exposed that multiple Minneapolis government officials are a part of these anti-ICE signal groups. And Signal's a messaging app for those who don't know. And one of these groups allegedly contains Tim Walz's daughter, Hope. Now these groups are taking pictures of the license plates of ICE vehicles or suspected ICE vehicles and sending those pictures to a database that confirms if they're ICE or not. And here's a picture of what that looks like. So you see they have the plate number, a description of the vehicle, and then it says confirmed ICE. For the car at the bottom, it says highly suspected ICE. And here's another image. On the left, it says all plates, confirmed ICE plates, gallery, abductors. And in the table, you have the license plate ID, the number of reports, the plate issuer, the plate status. And what's worse,
this doesn't seem legal to me,
is they have an entire training manual for their group on how to conduct their domestic terror operations. Watch this. So it doesn't look very organic, does it? It doesn't seem like a bunch of community members spontaneously coming together to peacefully protest, does it? And if you're wondering how these domestic terrorists could have infiltrated the police department, well, here's a clip from Maine where the police chief admits they actually have illegal aliens working as cops.
And yeah, this isn't just Maine. I believe something came out in Minnesota where one of them was arrested and it was found out they were an illegal citizen. So this isn't Minnesota. Remember that this is not Minnesota. This is Maine. But he is saying this could be happening in Minnesota as well. I'm going to make some tea really quick and I will be back.
Hire is legally required to be verified through an I-9. That's everybody within 3 days of hire. This corrections officer had an I-9 done on him, and his responses and paperwork were pretty straightforward. His I-9 suggested that he was able to work in this country until April of 2029. Actually, the county has taken one step further and hired an immigration attorney to periodically check these I-9s and make sure that we're doing it correctly. However, because of this guy's pretty straightforward I-9, he was not one that was checked. We've also let 3 people go because of their I-9 not meshing, and we did not hire him as a result of that.
So if it's happening in Maine, it's also likely happening in Minneapolis. These insurrectionists are working together with Minnesota and Minneapolis politicians in conjunction with the Minneapolis Police Department to orchestrate an insurrection against the federal government. Now take a look at this clip from some journalists who were stopped by the violent mob because their license plate came up as suspected ICE.
Not an ICE vehicle, right? No. Right. Right. Get in your truck. Get the fuck out. Why? Because you need to go. Confirmed ICE. Get the fuck out. Confirmed ICE. We're American citizens. We're not ICE. These are the people that you're abducting. Get out. Please go. Because they've been following us for over an hour. What are you here?
I'm so glad I didn't go get my tea yet, because this is crazy. This is where we can start to get a little giggle gaggle going. A little giggle gaggle going. And, okay, they are stalking people who are most likely just in rental cars, because, you know, rental cars have different license plate numbers. Sometimes they're from out of state. They are harassing strangers. And I showed you guys in the last one, them harassing that one man. It's gotten way worse. It's gotten way worse.
Do you come in that car right there?
Yeah, this happened. And they're saying we're popping up in an ICE database.
Well, we're in it. We're not.
What's the database?
Get the fuck out of here, then. Can you look at ICE? No ICE. Nothing on it. Prove it. Not ICE. I don't know what it is. Let me see your IDs of where you live.
Prove it. Let me see your papers.
Now they're in favor of you don't belong here because you don't look like us. Now they're in favor of show us your ID to prove who you are. When communists say they want a stateless, classless, moneyless society, understand what the first part stateless means. No national sovereignty, no borders. Humans can come and go because no nation belongs to any group of people. And when they talk about classless, it's not just on the individual level. Rich people, poor people, the proletariat, the bourgeois. Their philosophy applies to nations as well. You can't have rich nations and poor nations, so that's how they justify the pillaging of the United States to enrich Somalia. It's just their disturbing way of reaching equilibrium, of equity. And if you want to understand that these are violent revolutionaries and not peaceful protesters, take a look at this chilling video from independent journalist James O'Keefe, who is down on the ground in Minneapolis.
This is James O'Keefe in downtown Minneapolis. We have a team of undercover reporters still inside the mob. I was at the scene of the shooting covering it this morning, and basically we barely got out of there alive. There were a few hundred that surrounded us, started throwing ice bottles at us. A few hit us, hit our vehicle. They were trying to rip off my bulletproof vest, so we got out of there, we're followed, we're tailed, and here we are right now. We just got this message, and it says, we know that you're in Minneapolis. You're with O'Keefe and his crew of Nazis. You're in a whiteboard license plate. They actually wrote the license plate down from Florida. You have 1 hour to leave or you're dead. You have 1 hour to leave or you're dead.
They are tracking people, following people, doxing people, getting a hold of their license plates and spreading it through their terrorist network, threatening them with violence and death. Guys, this is an unbelievably scary and tumultuous situation. And it is on the...
But fuck the police, right? Fuck the cops. Whatever, dude. That's so ghetto. Ghetto. Okay, so I'm adding 2 clips here that I felt were very necessary for y'all to see. And it's quite funny that the left likes to bring up race constantly, yet they do things like this.
Yeah, families should be ripped apart by kind of energy. Like we should rip people apart from their families. Are you a man?
Wow, is that a question?
Wow.
Okay, how do you feel about ripping people from their family? Good. You feel good?
Fucking house nigger here. Sir, I need to move. Fucking house nigger working for the fucking KKK.
What the fuck's wrong with you people?
Why are you calling a woman a man? I mean, what kind of a guy does that?
Fucking house nigger, bitch.
White liberals using slurs towards ICE agents who just so happen to be black. Here's another example of that. Watch this.
And you're black! What? Nigga, you're next! You're next, nigga! What you? What your mouth? I don't want to watch shit! You! And the shit! You! Show me serious! You! You!
All right, so let's just have a heart-to-heart here, okay? Maybe you are an independent, a Democrat. Maybe you disagree with a lot of things I say, but you watch the show, which I'm grateful for. Maybe you're conservative like me, and you do agree with everything that I'm saying. Could we at least across the political spectrum agree on at least one thing? That is not how you should be conducting yourself. You want to peacefully protest and disagree with what's going on in our country? That should be the last thing you should be doing besides getting violent. Can we all just agree to that, please? I mean, I really want to encourage critical thinking, learning how to agree to disagree in our country, understanding nuance, right? Understanding how to just use a few more brain cells. Okay, so having said that, let's go to Minnesota schools and their pursuit to sue the Trump administration to ban ICE agents from stepping on.
Yeah, O'Keefe is an amazing, amazing journalist. We have to protect him. He is an asset for humanity. Now, let's see what we have next. I believe you guys... Oh, the church is next. Before we jump into that, let me just say, I want you guys to see what happened with the only Homeland Security. He wasn't even Homeland Security. The only police officer in Minnesota trying to protect a hotel. The police abandoned him. He was pummeled with frozen water bottles, I think, something. And he's bleeding and he's asking where are the police. He's telling these people to back up, but they're saying they're journalists. The cops don't come. You see them turn around actively. It was evil. Before we keep going, I need to go get my tea. I have such a headache. It sucks. And honestly, what I have next is Don Lemon. Like, fuck Don Lemon, dude. I'm so over seeing him. He's getting too much screen time.
Terrifying, Parish.
Right. Okay, so this actually isn't about Don Lemon. Before Alex Pretti was shot, and I actually don't agree with this guy. I don't think what he did was a good idea. I honestly think it could have made things worse. He wanted to show how violent the left really is. So he did a hidden camera experiment. Okay, let's go. I want you guys to hear this.
But the question has to be asked, just how violent are the modern left, the so-called resistance protesting against the Trump administration? Are they so filled with hate that they'd crowdfund shootings and bombings? Documentary filmmaker Army Horowitz travelled to Minnesota to conduct a hidden camera experiment among anti-ICE protesters.
I want to raise money for weapons. I want to go after ICE. We need money for weapons, for bombs. We need to fight back against these animals.
I'm with you.
We need to tear them apart, literally, not figuratively.
Do you want me to go up live while you talk about this?
Yes. Guns, explosives. That's the kind of language they understand, and that's what we need to do. If you feel me.
Yeah, 100%. 100%. This is just not working.
You feel me?
I feel you.
And that takes weapons, and that takes explosives, and that takes blowing up. You know what I mean?
Yes. Okay, it's a GoFundMe. That's what I was
It's a GoFundMe. We gotta fucking kill these motherfuckers. You know what I'm saying? We need to go after these people.
Yeah, absolutely.
We need to hurt them. We need to kill them. I think we have to start killing people. Right. I think that's the only way for us to get the message across because, let's be honest, saying you, they don't give a...
Exactly. They're just like, look at these guys wasting their time again. I know what you mean.
Okay. It's easy to get these lunatics to agree that violence and killing is the only way, but would any of them be willing to donate money to fund acts of violence, acts of murder? Let's see.
I mean, I'm kind of a broke college student, but like I'll donate like 10, 20 bucks.
Not very much. I'm a student. Maybe like $50.
15 bucks?
Oh, maybe like $50 per
That's
day.
Yeah. Bless you. Bless you.
Oh, we got
Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you. You're not going to take
Peace and love. Peace and love. Peace and love, brother.
Yeah, people saying fuck ICE just sound like these idiots to me. Sorry, not sorry. I'm not sorry at all, actually, at all.
Peace and love indeed. Let's bring in documentary filmmaker and commentator Army Horowitz. Army, your violent rhetoric and plot to commit violence against ICE agents, it seemed to be terribly popular. Did you have any pushback?
Did you notice that one guy goes, "I love you, man." He was so taken. He was so excited by it. His emotion just came out. By the way, I also want to point out that if you notice, each one was like, "I'm a broke college student." One person was like, "My husband's got laid off, but I'll drop 50 on him." Okay, a 50.
These people are despicable.
Civil war has started in Minnesota, where one local government, embroiled in foreign fraud, told its citizens to fight the feds, and 2 weeks and 2 deaths later, Minneapolis is again on the brink of destruction.
Or is it going to be a repeat of what we saw after the death of George Floyd? Several protesters here that have been calling into, their bullhorn, saying, daring President Trump to send the troops, saying, "Send the troops, send the troops."
As Pam Higby records the feds, desperately trying to disperse the crowds, but the mobs have already made up their mind.
I can't believe what's happening in our city. Everything is so peaceful and beautiful and loving here until these cowards came in with masks and guns and started inflicting tyranny on our neighbors. They're killing us.
We have to stand up for everyone, including ourselves, by being here. It just feels like they're murdering the most peaceful people we have, the people who are out on the street, young, and trying to protect other people.
Now, we will get into the specifics of this particular incident if I think the feds reacted correctly, but it's more important to contrast their claims of the most peaceful people we have, to them throwing rocks at the cops, already setting fire to their own city, and even biting the finger off a federal agent. It's easy to claim your side is mostly peaceful people when you omit the protesters tossing rocks and eating people. But that's been their playbook for the last month. Renee was just dropping off her kid at school and got shot by the feds. Just ignore her ramming the agent with her car. The family was just driving home from a basketball game and their baby got maced. Just ignore the 45 minutes where the parents were possibly protesting with their baby left in the car. And now, some ICU nurse was saving to a woman and got ended by the agents. Just ignore that he came armed and fought them. So now this has resulted in more riots in Minneapolis, using garbage cans to make trans autonomous zones, allowing them to take over entire intersections.
So yeah, you can see how many people don't care about the truth and they really are just angry and want to get that anger out. I want you guys to see the clip of Alex Pretti that popped up because he wasn't the man that everybody assumed. This is Alex Pretti just 11 days before he was his life was taken. And honestly, even if these men who he assaults right now, or I guess it wouldn't be an assault, I don't know what you would call this, a threat, he's threatening him, I don't know. These officers that he is being very disrespectful to, if they had arrested him, maybe he would have been okay. Maybe he would have rethought his decisions. But we'll never know because they didn't arrest him.
Appears to be Alex Pretti interacting with federal immigration agents 11 days before Border Patrol shot and killed him. Our footage was analyzed by the BBC, whose facial recognition technology confirmed his identity to a 97% degree of accuracy.
Yes, the man believed to be Alex Pretti spat on law enforcement, and then as they drove away, he kicked in the taillights while screaming expletives and threats. Peacefully, of course. Let's have a look at a little more of this footage.
Federal agents were blocking the street at the corner of East 36 and Park Avenue in Minneapolis. Arrived around 10 p.m. We saw observers shouting at agents as they walked back to their vehicles. When they started driving away,
Bastard.
the man kicked their taillight. An agent then got out of the vehicle,
But fuck ICE, right?
grabbed him, and pushed him to the ground. The man in our footage is wearing a similar outfit to what Pretti was wearing on the day he was killed. What appears to be a gun is also visible above his waistband.
Interesting, and somehow, despite the violent antics you just saw, the man in that video, reportedly Alex Pretti, was not arrested. Yesterday, we brought you a report from CNN who said Pretti had been injured in a tussle with federal agents a week before he was fatally shot at another violent protest.
Alex Pretti had a physical encounter with...
So if you don't understand that, that means he had a physical altercation 11 days before, 7 days before, and the day that he died. I blame Tim Waltz for this.
federal agents about a week before he was shot and killed by law enforcement. Sources tell CNN that Pretti broke a rib when a group of federal officers tackled him while he was protesting.
Tim Walz tweeted he is damn proud of Minnesotans. And then 90 minutes later, rioters vandalized and broke into a Hilton hotel where ICE was staying, violently attacked federal agents, and vandalized all the cars in the parking lot, while Minneapolis PD did nothing. This comes after Tim Walz told protesters to cause good trouble and keep interfering and obstructing ICE agents as loudly and disruptively as possible. All of this to distract from the Somali fraud scandal that was so massive, Tim Walz had to resign. But let's get into the riot that was instigated by Tim Walz last night, because it is truly anarchy and lawlessness in Minneapolis.
Imagine actively being proud of this. And I believe this is what you would call an insurrection.
This is what the left considers a peaceful protest. They have completely distorted the definition of the word peaceful. The same people who changed the definition of a woman, of a Nazi, of racism, have now also fundamentally changed the definition of the word peaceful to fit their agenda. The same people who call words harmful and violent, and therefore moral justification to do something like Charlie Kirk, will sit there with a straight face and tell you them smashing up and destroying a Hilton hotel, throwing a cinder block at an ICE agent's head, are all peaceful acts of civil disobedience. And none of the Minnesota politicians are condemning this behavior. They encourage it, they demand more of it, they want it intensified, and then go on TV and pretend to be a helpless, innocent victim when an unfortunate but inevitable deadly situation occurs. And
on press!
We're all members of the press. We're all press here. Okay. This officer appears to be bleeding from the mouth.
Oh my God. Are you okay? I'm fine.
Are you okay?
I'm fine.
Says he's all right. It's all right.
Where's the local PD? That's my question for the press.
Okay.
Where is the local PD? As this officer is spitting blood from his mouth, he is asking, where is the local police? Where is the commitment to protect and serve regardless of political affiliation? Coincidentally, those are the same tribalistic politics that make Somalia an unlivable, unfunctional society. So I guess they're right, the Somalis have culturally enriched Minnesota. But once the rioters were successfully pushed back from the front door, they just went to the parking lot and destroyed all the vehicles, hoping that they would get some ICE vehicles.
Disgusting. But fuck ICE, right, guys? Fuck ICE. Fuck the cops, right? Ghetto. Ghetto. I'm disgusted. Oh, fuck ICE, right? Right? You agree with that one, huh? Shame on you. That's what I think. It honestly just makes me mad. So, as you know, because of this, they pulled out the main guy who was in charge of Border Patrol. He was really cool too. He's really funny. He had really good public relations. Let's go though back a little bit. And let's get some laughter going, because I'm so annoyed. But before we get into the funnies, before we get into these liberals losing it so we can get a little giggle gabble, forgot what I was gonna say. Yeah, so Tom Homan is now in Minnesota. He's pulling out 7,000 officers because Minnesota has finally agreed to work with them and hold illegal immigrants who are arrested in the jails for them, rather than let them go in the streets. Because for some reason, that's what you guys who are against ICE think, that we should just let the criminals back out. Just let them back out. Everybody makes mistakes. Everybody has those days. We call this suicidal empathy, okay? This is suicidal empathy. So let's start here. Okay, let's watch something really funny.
This lady who thought she was in the movies or something because she decided to pick up a flashbang that was thrown at her direction. And, she wanted to pick it up and throw it back at ICE. But little did she know or find out there were some dire consequences to picking up a flashbang. Take a look.
Nada. Oh my God. Oh my God.
And I'll go pick up a live grenade. Good idea. Just because it's not like an explosive one. Like, did you think it wasn't gonna hurt? I agree. They think they're in a movie right now. They think they're really revolutionaries when they just look like crybabies whining because they didn't win.
Oh my God.
Alright, we got another video. This guy, I've only seen him a couple times. I have yet to subscribe, but he's got a good channel. Model minority reporter, okay? He's a model minority. We love model minorities. Alright, now this is where I started, where I was excited to get started and with the giggle gaggles.
We're handing out pizza to bums today. You guys want a free slice of pizza?
Keep in mind, this was before Pretti was taken from us. He was taken from us, you know?
We're handing out pizza to bums today. Could I get you a slice of pizza? I love this. I love this. I would give you guys $1, but you guys would probably spend it on crack. So I was going to give you guys some food. What homeless bum doesn't want a free slice of pizza? I got some pizza for you guys. See you guys. Anytime.
So I want to bring you some of my favorite lowlights from the so-called protests, more like the...
So, as discussed sort of in this video, there is a group in a signal chat and another group where they are doxing ICE agents, following people and putting them into a database as they described and we saw, right? Well, this guy, he is Antifa kind of, okay? He is a tech guy and he went to go have lunch with his tech friends. Here's what happened.
They called their mob of protesters and saying, hey, we think we see ICE agents, aka the guys wearing polo shirts at a random restaurant here. Let's go over and harass them and basically scare them. And this is apparently what happens next.
Idiots. Fucking idiots.
We do custom apps for a whole bunch of companies around Minnesota and the country. Why do you
Give us your identification immediately.
Holy.
No, it's not. You have no relationship with that. You wait, so you guys are acting? Oh, okay. Yeah, the way you guys are acting for rights either. Who's like a ride away? Then you're I'm just trying to enjoy my lunch. If you're not with us, then you're against us.
Yeah, and of course, Jacob Fry claims that we're the ones who are spreading fear and intimidation around Minneapolis. No, that video just comes straight out of a communist revolution. I mean, that's actually what that looks like, right?
Yep.
You have these mobs surrounding random private citizens in the streets. And first of all, after understanding they have a case of mistaken identity, notice how they don't stop. They're not just like, oh, you're not ICE. Okay, move on. No, then it becomes, do you support ICE? What are your thoughts? Do you adequately have views that support the revolution? Hey, if
right,
you're not
so they can attack you.
And you're against us, there you have it right there, right? So a lot of leftists try to make these excuses after, say, the Charlie Kirk assassination or even the Trump assassination attempts and say, well, if you don't want to be treated like a Nazi, then don't act like a Nazi, right? I mean, he spread bigotry, spread hate throughout the world, so he deserved it. Okay. Well, now you have a case. You notice how it never stops there, right? Of just random private citizens. These guys are software engineers. They have absolutely nothing to do with any of this. As a matter of fact, when asked in an interview, they asked these guys, and one of them said, one of us is pro-ICE, one anti-ICE, and others are on the fence. And so you just, normal political views all over the spectrum. One of them supports, the other is like a liberal. There's a lot of people who just don't really care or they're not involved in politics. That doesn't matter, right? What did the leftists say? What did the communists say? If you're not with us, then you are against us no matter what, okay?
So fuck ICE? No. Fuck these idiots, okay? I stand with ICE. I stand with the police. I stand with our men and women who put on a badge to defend a badge. I stand with our men and women who put on a badge every morning and give up their lives and their safety, to keep us safe. So yeah, it's ghetto to say fuck ICE. It's ghetto to say fuck the police. It's ghetto to call them pigs. It's ghetto. You know how I know? I was raised in the ghetto. Don't act like that, dude. It's that simple. Grow up. I want you guys to see this woman. Okay, this happened, I think, right after Alex Pretti was shot. Let me double check that. 2 weeks ago, maybe? It was right during that time. And this guy's a kick streamer, and he's just hanging out in his car. he's streaming in his car. And this drunk woman, who's obviously a part of the, like, watch shit, right? Watch for thick eighth. Thick eighth. Let's go see.
Connor gets filmed by a Karen who thinks he's an ICE agent. Oh boy, now we have these wild Karens that are going around attacking random people that look like ICE. The Karen SS. What's up? Huh?
I'm sorry.
No, why?
I'm sorry, but she makes me... I'm fuming. I'm fuming. And these people are retarded. They are retarded. Okay, she's asking... Oh. I regret starting my day with these morons. Just kidding. Let's keep watching. Let me start this over.
Are you law enforcement?
No, why?
Are you law enforcement?
Bro, is this a simulation? Oh, is this like one of those ICE things or something?
Cool, thank you. Good to know. Are you law enforcement? I'm just gonna grab your card here. Yeah, it looks like you're law enforcement.
Because it's a white guy? It's one of those people.
Dude, imagine this is you. I want to know what you would do. What would you do if someone started taking pictures of your license plate and harassing you like this?
Dude.
Do you have your flashers on?
How'd you know I was law enforcement? What gave it away?
Your blue lights were flashing, friend.
Oh, no way, dude. Let's see my blue lights. with a fucking mannequin in the front seat. Oh, no, uh-oh. How retarded do you feel right now? I don't know. Are you even allowed to say that word? There is a mannequin in the front seat. I'm not a cop, retard. She's coming back? Hey, since you don't know your colors, I'm gonna put my lights on again for you. I want you to see if you see any blue. You see any blue or not? Oh, you can't do that now. You already said it. These are the people that want to tell you how to act and what you're allowed to say. These stupid, bored, middle-aged women.
I thought, you know, when we got out of high school, these women would grow up and get lives of their own. But it turns out abortions have ruined women because now they have nothing to care about.
What do you mean?
What's your plan? Are you anti-ICE? Are you pro-ICE?
I go around. Jesus, bro. Like, what the hell's wrong with these people?
I'm just like.
Are you clients? Anti-ICE?
No slant.
What does that mean?
Well, you know,
What does
you
that
want
mean?
to say you have no slant. You're an observer, but you're trying to create.
Just go back to asking if he's law enforcement, okay?
She can even speak.
And to agitate people into saying the R word, and the R word is.
Okay, but who came up to who first? Who came up? You didn't come up to me. You didn't knock on my window. You didn't knock on my window. They'll literally just lie directly to you.
You make such a buck for being such a cuck. A buck for a cuck. A buck for a cuck. What
Oh
a
my
cool
god. Guys, we have to reopen
What a cool dude. Cool.
Wild.
cool guy. Let's get his license plate.
Why?
I'd want to jump her. I would want to jump her.
What are you talking?
Now, I'm not saying I would. But it would take every ounce of me to not step out of that vehicle and smash that bitch's face. Like I said, I was raised in the ghetto, okay? I can get hood real quick. I choose not to.
Talking about? I actually opened Pokemon cards. I don't play video games anymore.
I don't play video games anymore. That's so funny. You gotta hear it.
Open Pokemon cards.
With a
I don't play video.
This little man who lives in his mother's basement and plays video games and cosplays.
What are you talking about? I actually opened Pokemon cards. I don't play video games anymore.
What a cock for a buck. Cool story, bro.
Jesus. She thought he was ICE? Yeah, she thought he was ICE. So this was at 09. Starts recording my license plate. Walks up. I didn't even see her yet. Again, I have not even seen her yet. I have not even seen her. And then here she goes. Here we go. Here she knocks on my door. Look at this. She's in a stance. Look at her. With the Karen Gestapo. Yeah, I'd be losing my fucking mind too. I think this is the main reason why it happens. It's because these people never have any consequences for doing this. I don't see how
It's true, especially for women.
and not think that that person should be institutionalized. Like, this is deranged, crazy behavior. Like,
They need to start arresting more women. Officers handle women with kid gloves, and it's enabled them to act like retards. Lock them up.
Why are we allowing these people out here in the streets? Like, what's going on?
This woman was just arrested, which is hilarious. But let's start over here. Right here. White liberal women with Angela Rose, okay?
Hi, you have any questions?
I asked if y'all got a warrant and if I could see it. He said no.
So because you're not related to this person? We don't have to
Okay, well,
search.
I'm here to just observe. I have within my right to do so.
Por that no son that you're impeding our
I
investigation.
don't know what you just said. I don't speak Spanish.
I'm not speaking Spanish.
I just heard your Spanish accent.
But conservatives are racist, right?
I don't know what you said. You're speaking entirely too fast. I don't really want to engage with you, honestly. I'm just letting you know I'm here.
It's for you. It's for you to understand.
What a bitch.
Making all these noises, impeding our investigation.
How is blowing a whistle impeding?
Listen.
I'm done talking to you. You can get out of my space.
Do that, we're gonna arrest you. All right? So this is your first or last warning.
Get her.
Stupid is somehow going to blow this whistle. What does the whistle have to do with anything? There's literally signs around the city that say blowing this whistle is to alert people. They have an entire code. It is ridiculous. That woman didn't sound white. A lot of the other people that are like doing the same thing she did are white though, and you can just hear the racism in her voice by making fun of the way that he speaks. Perhaps he has a bit of a Hispanic accent, and then she's trying to make fun of him for that. So it's crazy that they are the people standing up for the Latinos and the Somali. They're the ones who are the most racist because you see them targeting ICE agents all the time and calling them out for their race. It is so bizarre. Whereas on the other side of things, it's not about race, but it's about the fact that these people came into the country illegally. Do many times they happen to be brown or have accents? Yeah, but they're not targeting them because of that. That's the difference. This is a teacher. You guys are not going to believe this. Listen to the conversation she has with the student.
His move should have been to go like this if he was really afraid. Your job as a police officer is to de-escalate.
Split second.
No, he had, no,
Yes.
no.
Yes.
That was not something.
They're talking right now. You're arguing.
Because watch the video, he was not in
Just
danger.
because you're yelling doesn't mean you're winning arguments. Just because you're yelling doesn't mean you're winning. Guys.
Yeah, just because you're alive doesn't mean you are intelligent.
It sucks that she got shot, but it's a split. You have to split second.
Yeah.
You're gonna take that? She just called you stupid.
The ICE agent was literally injured. Why is it that so many teachers always just have to insert their political opinion into class? It's so annoying. And
I honestly believe it's because they don't have children, Angela. They don't have anything else in their lives. They aborted it all. And now they have nothing to think about, so all they think about is outer world problems.
I don't understand what's the reason for it, okay? So I actually did think that this video is satire. This woman is the classic white liberal woman mafia member.
So we're out in the community being patrollers and observers, just had an interaction with ICE, pulled up alongside my vehicle, rolled down his window with his face mask on, waved at me, and then did this, I see you. They like to play games. We're moving on to check out some other vulnerable community spaces.
Play games.
This is what we can do. Got my whistle. These are what our days look like, friends.
So this is real. This is a real video.
Gross.
People all around the town are walking around with their whistles. I mean, is she...
She's running? That's disgusting.
Has to be just incredibly bored. Why else would you do this?
The only Minnesotan gave him a nice super soaking, drenching him head to toe in water, including his little cotton gloves and cotton hat. For reference, it's 13 degrees here in Minneapolis today. He got so cold, he began asking Minnesotans for help, which of course they did not give him. Last I heard...
But fuck the police, right? Fuck ICE.
The Minneapolis Police Department was pursuing him in his red Ford Dart somewhere in South Minneapolis.
How do you guys support these people? This one disgusted me too. She's an idiot.
Home and warm where they are safe instead of putting themselves in danger, because the truth is it's not stopping the deportation. It's, if anything, it is just making them happen at a larger scale and a lot faster.
Or prolonging it, and then those people go out and rape one last child before they're arrested, and you're proud. And you're proud. That's why I'm disgusted. And that's why it's fucking ghetto. It's ghetto to hate the police and Homeland Security and ICE, who protects you and does everything. They put their lives on the line to protect you. So yeah, you're ghetto when you say fuck the police and fuck ICE.
Faster and a lot more attention to them. These women should just be at home comfortable, right? Like, why spend your time blocking ICE agents?
This is a message from my mom. If I am executed by ICE officers today, it will not be because of anything that I did.
I bet she's alive. I bet she didn't get hurt because she didn't try to resist an officer or try to hit him with her vehicle.
I want you to know a couple things. First, I don't carry weapons on me. Second, I won't be holding any signs. There will be no...
What does a sign have to do with anything?
...violent person or a threat to anyone.
And that's probably why you're alive. Okay, I can't. We have to move on to the bigger nut bags, okay? She's literally crying. If I die today, Mom, I love you. It wasn't my fault. Okay, and I won't threaten the cops. But I bet the bitch is alive. Now, this crazy woman right here. She was arrested. She decided to continue to impede on law enforcement, so she's been going for at least a month. And she makes TikToks about it all the time and how, like, she wants to go on dates like this. I think we talked about it last time. She was arrested. Yeah, she decided to hit an officer's car to try and escape. So, felony!
Cars off of my street. I live them right now.
Well, you'll be in women's prison, so don't worry. You hate men so much, you can be a lesbian for a little bit in a women's prison.
Following down the neighborhood, honking, blowing whistles, telling them... All that rage that I have felt is coming out.
Welcome to a crowd defense class. If you are going out to protest or to record or to intervene with icy conditions, you need to know how to...
Icy conditions.
You are trying to be taken by the icy conditions, okay?
Icy conditions.
This is a person, and we'll just call this their waist, right? So if you see the icy conditions doing this with a person, right? They're grabbing at their arms, they're just grabbing at them, and the person's fighting, right? Anyone in the crowd, anyone can do this. Run up, keep that arm strong, okay? Keep it strong. You get low, you run up, you the person.
She's literally actively telling people how to harm our Asians. But fuck ICE, right? Fuck ICE. Fuck the police. Yeah. Ghetto.
Run into weights and you run them back into the crowd, okay? So let's try. Yeah. You're gonna keep your
Let's try it again.
run up. Keep going. You're gonna keep going. You're not gonna stop, okay? You're gonna put more people in between the two of you and the icy condition, and you're gonna get that person to safety. That is one way to assist. Stop recording
Actually, no, you'll get arrested.
and do something. It just takes one person to go another person back to safety, okay? Just one, okay? I'll do it one more time. Shoulders, kill me.
If that's all it takes to hurt your shoulder, you're gonna need better conditioning.
Dude, imagine doing that to an officer and then being like, I'm helping.
We're gonna do this because y'all need to learn. Run it. Sweep and run. Okay?
I bet it's a lot easier with a bar stool than a giant man who works for the Department of Homeland Security.
Let me go take some paper.
I've just learned something from the Quality Leering Center.
But I'm specifically doing this because I just got back from working out. I haven't had motivation to work out in a while, but now I do. I'm feeling like Sarah Connor right now.
Oh,
Terminator. I'm Ripley. This is the thing that we need to realize, ladies. We have had it so good for so long, and in fact, we have been complicit against other people forever. And now it's happening to us. So it's time to participate. It's time to participate. So what do I mean by participate? Well, protest at parade. You don't bring your kid. In fact, if you...
At least she said that. At least she said don't bring the kids, because you know what I've seen this week? Kids at protests. Tons of them. Tons of them. I saw a kid get pepper sprayed. I saw a baby strapped to somebody. I saw kids beating up a teacher. Okay. I saw kids destroying schools. I saw 2 kids got shot in Oregon. I'm so glad my kids are homeschooled. So glad. At least she knew not to take kids.
I've been thinking about this a lot for years, actually.
How do we have so many MAGA teachers? Saying those two words together like makes me want to throw them in my mouth. What a lot of people don't realize is although teaching is a career for passionate people, and there are so many incredible teachers who care so deeply about kids, who want to help society, unfortunately, teaching isn't like being a doctor where you take an oath to protect and serve and put your patient first and yada yada. We don't take an oath to protect students. We don't take an oath. I think that's how, unfortunately, we get some pretty lazy, pathetic, and selfish people in this profession. MAGA teachers exist. They're not really quiet about it either. And shockingly, a lot of them work in neighborhoods that they should not be working in, with communities that they should not be around because of how they vote against them and how they feel towards them. Our students deserve better. And I don't know if this will ever be fixed unless we add a freaking oath to this type of service. How embarrassing to be a MAGA teacher. How embarrassing for you.
This video popped up for me over the week after making our last video about how no grade is safe. If you missed it, you should definitely check it out. The teachers are definitely creating monsters in these school systems, and it's very frightening.
Are still doing that. And you're going to Target to buy the special smelly pens for your signs, or I don't know, like ordering stuff off of Amazon. You're part of the problem. Like this whole like shopping thing, that's got to stop. Number one, the best thing that we can do right now, buy nothing. Buy nothing. You know, oh, well, my kid wants this thing. You know what? That's when you talk to your child and say, look, we're not purchasing things right now. And it's not because you're being punished. It's because we're standing up for our values. And this is the best time for you to teach your kids about bullies. Teach your kids about bullies and teach your kids about standing up for what's right. And sometimes depriving yourself of things that you might want for the greater good. It's a great thing to do. In fact, churches used to teach.
I think we're gonna speed this bitch up.
Act like she knows what's in the Bible.
Be aware that this is not a parade. Leave your signs and stuff at home. Bring your cameras. And my vote is to not bring a phone. Like get one of those little, get a body cam. Get something that you can't.
Because they don't want the cops in their phones because they will discover everything, which they already did. We already infiltrated every signal chat, everything they thought they had protected. We got their identifications.
Have seized from you. And leave your phone at home. Leave your identification at home. Leave all that stuff at home. If they're not going to hold you, and they would hold you anyway, whether or not you had your ID or anything on you anyway. So it doesn't really matter if you're a U.S. citizen. It doesn't matter. None of this stuff matters anymore. Like, the other thing is that you might have to put your body in front.
Not this body. Not this person.
So get to the gym, ladies. Get to the gym. Start lifting. None of this like namby-pamby Pilates. You need to lift. Go lift. You need to be. Stop taking Ozempic because you're going to need.
Conservative girls. This is what they're saying right now. They want to fight. They literally think that they're in World War III right now. They think they're in a civil war.
You're going to need energy. I don't care if you're a little heavy. That's dieting. Stop dieting. You need to eat. Get that protein in you. We need the endurance. We need, and your kids too. Ladies, get your girls out there running with you. You need endurance. We need strength. We need all that stuff because you know what? We're on our own. We're on our own.
I want you to run and be strong and also be a little heavy. I'm not really worried about this, are you?
So get strong.
Maybe a little. It just makes me want to work out a little.
And stand up. Because we're not going to stand up for the bullies now.
Dude, she's still going. How is she still going? What a psycho. Okay, I want to show you guys a couple more psychopaths we have here, okay? Okay, you guys have to see this crazy bitch here in her chingatumaga. Okay, chingatumaga. Which she doesn't want to make America great. We know they hate America already, okay? It's not a surprise. We are not surprised.
Now this is super affordable. And that's great since our government is funding the Gestapo instead of helping the poor. We're going to start with, we got this, some ice. This can get a little messy. So it might be best to put it in something plastic like this, something else to just really contain the mess. The only other thing you need is a heavy object to crush the ice. I have a rolling pin and also this mallet. But there are lots of great things you can use. For example, if you've had to pawn your tools or other items.
When you say fuck ice, this is the image that comes to my head. So this is who you look like every time you say that.
To pay for your child's healthcare. Let's get started. Watch how easy this is. Uh-oh, we made a mess.
Fucking idiot.
Let's begin with the mallet. Fucking Nazi
She's a created a skit to be violent, stupid.
And there you have it, crushed ice. I like to serve mine garnished with these blood red premium cocktail cherries.
Oh, you're so. I hope she was investigated, that piece of.
This is what you get. So we have a woman and her female co-pilot using their vehicle as a weapon against ICE, and let's tune in.
They are being taught this somewhere.
I like how they're wearing this neon green high-vis face mask. Probably never worked a real job in their life that requires high-vis, but that's neither here nor there. Here we go.
Get out of the car. Put the car in park. Get out of the car.
Here we go. Now the weapon's coming out. Put the car in park. Get out of the car. I'm not exactly sure how they could be any more clear, right? The left is always like, well, these people panicked. These people panicked and they didn't know what to do. Didn't they, though? It's pretty clear. Put the car in park. Get out of the car, right?
Yes.
And they just open her door. Here's another thing. Now, I never.
You know I'm a Marine Corps veteran.
Military men and women watch me, so you could tell me if I'm wrong about this. But I feel like using your military service as some sort of shield while committing a crime must be. It's got to be right up there with stolen valor. Probably not as bad as stolen valor. I assume I get that. But like when you're out there committing these crimes, and you're like, "But I'm a Marine Corps veteran. I hope you know that." And I love that he's just like, I don't care what you are.
Yeah, good.
Wait for it.
Look at
fighting with
look
the officer, resisting, trying to pull back into her car. She has a thing for sex wax, whatever that is. Oh, and she has a broken windshield. Shocking. And you're done. You're done. Now, for her other liberal entitled passenger, let's see how this goes for her. Let's see what the ICE officer has to say for her. You move out there.
Get the fuck out of the car right now. Get the fuck out of the car.
Oh, would you look at that?
Wow, she got out. She can take direction.
They complied and they live. Now, I love how the left is.
I love how it's the Marine who is able to take orders.
Trying to. First of all,
good one.
Your disability is irrelevant. Second of all, your Marine service history is irrelevant. Because you served in the military at some point, first of all, it doesn't shield you from the laws of this land. And secondly, it's just like when a cop does this. When you see videos of like cops, cops getting pulled over and saying, well, I'm a police officer. Yeah, so? Then you should know better. You're a Marine Corps veteran, allegedly.
All right, we are about to jump into what is happening in the medical field. We thought it was just the school systems. Turns out the medical field is just as tainted. And we'll start here with Lexi Lawler, who did lose her job, thank God.
Praying, hoping that Caroline Leavitt,
license revoked,
who put out a video, praying, hoping that Caroline Leavitt would tear from her V to her A while giving birth to a child. Why? Because she doesn't like her politics. You may have seen this moron's videos. Let's check this out.
As a labor and delivery nurse, it gives me great joy to wish Caroline Leavitt a 4th degree tear. I hope that you fucking rip from bow to stern and never shit normally again, you cunt.
She has worked at Baptist Health in Boca Raton Regional Hospital in Florida, and the state of Florida has just now revoked her nursing license. This isn't just, she got fired from one hospital and now you go work for another hospital. This broad can never be a nurse again, at least in that state. I don't know if nursing is a state-to-state thing or a federal thing. Her life is destroyed, ruined, because she can't keep her politics within reasonable bounds, okay? I don't like Ilhan Omar. I don't like AOC, but I'm not wishing physical harm on them. And even if I were, I wouldn't be so stupid as to upload it to the internet.
It seems to be that's the biggest difference between conservatives and liberals. They actually are liberal about murder.
Guys, before we get into today's video, please like and subscribe. Today we're going to be talking about discrimination in the healthcare space. I found some healthcare workers that have gone viral online for some very strong opinions about treating conservatives and treating ICE agents with everything that's going on right now in our country and specifically in Minnesota. I'm going to start off with the craziest of these videos. And trust, they're all bad. This is Melinda. She's a healthcare worker who encourages other healthcare workers to scare ICE agent patients by wanting to inject them or insinuating that they will inject them with something called succinylcholine, okay? And we're going to learn exactly what that is in just a moment.
I thought of something good. I think it's something weird spot. Sabotage tactic, or at least scare tactic. All the medical providers, grab some syringes with needles on the end. Have them full of saline or succinylcholine, whatever. That will probably be a deterrent. Be safe. Okay.
So for those of you that don't know what succinylcholine is, it's a paralytic drug agent. When you are injected with succinylcholine, you are paralyzed and you're not going to be able to breathe. So the only way you'll be able to breathe is if you are intubated, which is something that the healthcare provider would have to do. So what she's advocating for is at the very least scaring people with the idea that you are going to attempt to murder them by injecting them with a paralytic drug. Because
I don't understand what's wrong with them. These people work in the health field. Okay, why are you supporting these people over the men and women who protect our nation every day?
They're ICE agents or people who agree with what's going on right now with the whole ICE operation here in this country. Really think about that. And these are healthcare providers that are meant to leave their beliefs at the door and treat you as you are and as you come to see them. They take a Hippocratic oath to do no harm. And she's sitting here advocating for said harm against patients. And it's not the only video she has posted on the internet. We're going to watch more.
Okay, for today's resistance tip, I vote, anybody got any poison ivy, poison oak in their yard? Get some of that up with gloves, obviously, and get it in some water, like a gallon of water. Get the poison ivy oak water, and I'm going to put it into a water gun. Aim for faces, hands.
Aim for faces with poison ivy and poison oak. Really, really think about the level of harm you're committing. We've gone down quite a few degrees here from injecting them with a paralytic drug to spraying them in the face with poison ivy and poison.
I would say we've gone a very long way from blowing whistles to let people know where ICE is, to injecting them with something that will paralyze them or give them an anaphylactic shock. So yeah, this is how far this has come. This is how we got here. Women wanting to kill their babies rather than open the door for federal agents. Women willing to kill their neighbors who disagree with them, run over police officers, throw water bottles, frozen water bottles, at our agents who want to protect them, who have sworn duty to protect them. But fuck ICE, right? Fuck the police.
She can do a lot of harm doing these things, and it's so baffling to me that she, in uniform, in her healthcare uniform, would sit there and make a video like this, whilst probably in the background of her day treating patients, many of whom are going to disagree with her politically. This should be deeply concerning. As of now, she has been put on leave. We have more videos of her, though, so let's keep watching.
Are the single ladies where these ICE guys are going have a chance to do something, not without risk, but could help the cause for sure.
It's all she thinks about all day. She should be taking care of patients, and all she's thinking about is killing MAGA and our ICE agents.
Get on Tinder, get on Hinge, find these guys. They're around. They're an ICE agent, bring some X-Lax and put it in their drinks. Get them sick. Nobody's gonna die. Just enough to incapacitate them, get them off the street for the next day.
No, nobody's going to die, just enough to incapacitate them. How do you know that nobody's going to die? How do you know that you're not spraying somebody in the face with poison ivy or poison oak who's not going to go into anaphylaxis? How do you know that's the case? Are you going to intubate these patients that you're going to be threatening with a paralytic drug? The fact that we have to ask these questions and that we even have to have these thoughts swirling around our minds as people who are going to see a healthcare provider is deeply concerning. And I do urge people to think if there's an equivalent on the other end of this. Because so often we say, oh, the left and the right both have these issues. It's a shared struggle. It's a shared burden. We both have our extremes. I have never in my life heard a conservative or MAGA supporter in a healthcare setting talk about this. And especially, I have not heard them post and make a video advocating that people use and do these things as resistance tactics. To me, it's unheard of. Please let me know if this is going on. I would love to hear about it, and I'd love to.
I was honestly scared to go to the dentist. I went to get x-rays and I had a little flag pin on. And then I didn't hear back from him for 3 weeks. And all this started happening and I started thinking, What if it was because I had a flag on? We shouldn't have to think like that in America. We really shouldn't. Political freedom used to be a thing. We used to not have to talk about it. I don't mind talking about it. I love talking about it. But a lot of people are afraid to talk about it because this is what happens.
To broadcast that to the world so that people stay away from these healthcare providers. As a healthcare worker, provider, whatever you are meant to leave your beliefs at home, not even at the door of your practice, at home. You come to your practice, you come to where you work, and you treat patients for what they need treatment for, and you should treat everybody with dignity and respect. It doesn't matter their political background. And I say this as somebody who worked in a clinic prior to doing what I do now. I would never, ever look at a patient, hear their political beliefs, and think that's going to change the way in which I would treat that person. Are we nuts? Are we nuts? And the level of harm that she's advocating for it's astronomical. It's through the roof. And even the little adjustments that she is advocating making to care because of their political ideology, which there should be no adjustments to the way you care for somebody based on political ideology. But really think about the level of harm that she's advocating for here. We're going to keep watching.
Highly easily deniable. You know, you could get sick too. Won't eat there again. I'm just saying. Let's get them where they eat.
Shame on her.
Somebody's not going to be supporting these guys. Where's the hotel?
This is despicable.
Who makes that breakfast?
Oh my gosh. Somebody's got to be supporting these guys. Where's the hotel? Where do they eat? So she's advocating for a mass scale poisoning of these individuals because of their occupation.
I mean, we already witnessed them going into the hotels. We've witnessed them doing all they can to stop these ICE agents. And the only thing that's stopped the ICE agents so far is Minnesota deciding to finally work with the federal agents.
Because they're ICE agents. They're people who are just going out there and doing their job. The soullessness that you have to advocate for something like this as a healthcare professional is just beyond me. She's got to have family members, friends, and probably not friends, peers, people around her, people in her life that have come in and out of her life that don't support her political ideology, that have a difference in opinion on this whole immigration issue. Is she then advocating that those people also be poisoned or another healthcare provider attempt to murder them?
You know, let's make their lives fucking miserable. I know we're already trying to keep them awake all night. That's good.
You hear that? You know, we're already trying to keep them awake all night. So I imagine she's in some sort of hospital setting. Now she knows who's we? So where there's one.
Yeah, who is we?
We are trying to keep them up all night. So you have probably nurses, CNAs, maybe even doctors, another nurse practitioners, people of higher level degrees and licenses who are in these medical facilities taking rest away from patients, which is hard.
Okay, I don't think that's what she meant, but it sounded terrible. I think she meant the fact that there's people in the streets playing music and like loud things so that they can't sleep. If she meant she's keeping patients from rest, that is a whole nother level of crazy. And she said we. She definitely said we.
Which is not allowing them to heal properly, which is not allowing them proper care for whatever issue they are in your hospital or a medical practice dealing with. Can you hear this, guys? And you know what? I think conservatives are already a little on edge when they go out and receive service of any kind, especially if you're very forward with your political beliefs, that somebody might retaliate against you for the things that you believe. And that's already something you have to go through life thinking about. To have to think about that when you're at your most vulnerable, which is when you are seeking medical care, is unbelievable to me. I'm already in a space, and I'm sure many of you are too, of going to a healthcare provider like an OBGYN and being asked if I was assigned female at birth. Assigned by who? So this is already something we're thinking about and working through in our daily lives as we're trying to receive care. And on top of that, you have to worry about discrimination and acts of harm being committed by the healthcare worker. Unbelievable.
Anything you can do to make the living conditions bad. Talk to the people who work at the places where they are. Look at some ideas. Dead fish. Somewhere in the room hidden. Just stay toxic.
Stay toxic, says the healthcare worker. Not do no harm, says the healthcare worker. Stay toxic. What a life you must have right now if you're an ICE agent who's in a place like Minnesota. You're going out, you're getting assaulted by people in the street. People are trying to stop your job from happening. They're obstructing your operations. I've seen an ICE agent get his finger bitten off by a protester, rioter in the street, and then you go to receive care for your finger being bitten off, and the healthcare provider is threatening to murder you and wanting to do further acts of harm, and at the very least, not giving you sufficient care because of your occupation.
patient. And of course, these people not only deserve to be fired, they deserve to completely lose their licenses. You should never be able to treat another patient after posting something like this online, or even saying this to another person where it can be corroborated. My brain is like short-circuiting thinking about how many people are sharing this sentiment whilst they're doing their jobs in healthcare. We have another one. This one is Eric Martindale. Now, what he posted is that, quote, "I will not perform anesthesia for any surgeries or procedures for Make America Great Again for MAGA. It is my right and it is my ethical oath, and I stand behind my education. I own all of my businesses and I can refuse anyone." I'm wondering
What an education.
It seems like he made it up in his brain and has decided to take this completely non-ethical oath, by the way, when it comes to patient care and treatment. That's what it seems like happened. He says he stands behind his education. Where in your education does it tell you not to treat people with certain political backgrounds and beliefs? Y'all let me know. Anybody in medical school right now, anybody who's training to become a nurse, anybody in residency right now, let me know where your education is telling you not to treat patients who are MAGA or ICE agents. Because I never heard that. Nurse. Now, she backs this up and she sort of doubles down on her statements after being fired.
Okay, so this is the woman who we just discussed that was talking about Carolyn Levitt. After she was fired, I guess she came out with another statement.
Watch.
So they just murdered a man in Minnesota. They murdered a man in Minnesota, and you motherfuckers are coming after me because I use bad language. Fuck you, I'm on the right side of this. You.
I'm not religious by any means.
Fuck you, I'm on the right side of this.
What else do you call that? What else do you call a person like that? There is something very, very wrong with her, and doubling down on that is just astounding. You'd think maybe you get a deeper look, a little bit of introspection, and go, you know what? Shouldn't have said that. Heated moment.
I think it's very clear that it is a spiritual war. And we saw the woman, look at her face and all those piercings she had, right? When you are so uncomfortable in your body that you start to change it that much to grow more comfort, and you still stay discomforted and you never have God to ground you, you are going to continue to grow into a demonic entity. Especially now, we are in a time where spiritual warfare is physical. It is not in a mind realm. It is not in an ethereal realm. It is here in our realm. Well, that's all the ridiculous and liberals versus logic we have for today. They lack logic every time. It is all emotionally bound bullshit, okay? And it's dragging them into becoming pawns of Democrats, demons, evil on earth, whatever you want to call it. It is not of good. It is not of God. It is not within any realm of light. And I will have nothing to do with it. Except for exposing it to you guys. So, as you hear, my munchkin just got up, and that is my final call goodbye. So I will see you next time.